BSc secondary students, we will discuss about the mechanism of enzyme action. What is meant by mechanism and what is meant by the enzyme action. I have given information about the enzymes and its action is related to these factors, and which factor is important. Yes, the enzymes contain the amino acids. Yes, and these amino acids are present in the proteins. So all proteins are the enzymes. Yes, and biocatalyst, chemical reaction within the cells, that is the two cells, plant cells and animal cells. Biocatalyst in the plant cells and animal cells. Basically, the mechanism of enzymes action, how to take action in the plant cells and animal cells of the enzymes. The important characteristics: the breaking of substrate into the enzymes product, which may be that is the breaking of substrate into enzyme product. Which is the enzymes and which is the products? These two components very important and to take the action of the enzyme, that is known as the enzyme action. That is the first one, that is E represented as the enzymes and S represent the symbols as the substrate. E plus S, enzyme plus substrate, is equal to ES complex. ES complex. ES complex means enzyme plus substrate complex. Yes. E is the enzyme which is the active site. Active site, and they made up of amino acid. Made up of amino acids means enzyme substrate complex. I have given that is the figure, and that figure represents as the substrate SUBSTRAT, substrate. A represents as a active site and E is nothing but the enzymes and these types. That is simple circle, and it contains anterior side substrate, butyl substrate, that is the active site, and maximum portion to occupy the enzymes, that is the enzymes, and that figure represents as the enzyme with active site. Active site means both the components are present in this figure, that is the E plus S, and this figure represents ES complex, enzyme substrate complex. Yes, these substrate complex represent as a two hypotheses, and which hypothesis? That is the enzyme action hypothesis, and that hypothesis is known as, first one is known as the lock and key hypothesis. Lock and key hypothesis. And number two which is induced fit hypothesis. Induced fit hypothesis. These two depends upon the enzyme action. How it depends upon the enzyme's action? With two hypotheses. Number one, log and key hypothesis. Yes, I have given the two figures. One figure which is the log, and second figure that is the key. What it contains? The log represent as the enzymes and key represents as the substrate. 2. Before I have given information about the E plus S. That is E is nothing but enzymes, S plus represent as a substrate. When both the log fit the key, that is the ES complex. ES complex. E is nothing but enzymes, and S is nothing but substrate. That is the fit. Log fit, that is the key. Inside the key, that is known as the complex. And these complex find out are proposed with scientist, that is the Emil Fischer in 1940. Lock and key hypothesis proposed by or discovered by Emil Fischer in 1940. And this hypothesis depends upon the substrate plus enzymes and made up of one complex, and that complex is known as the ES complex. And actually, Emil Fischer proposed or find out the both are separate from each other. How to separate? Log fit, that is the keys. Key separate and log separate. Means actually to change in this figure, log represent as the enzyme and key represent as the enzymes and log represented the substrate, and to form the ES complex separately E plus S, and that action is known as the log and key hypothesis from the enzyme action. First. And second hypothesis induced fit hypothesis, and this hypothesis is same, but to find out second scientist, and which is second scientist, name of the scientist Quasland, Quasland in 1963 and proposed the ES complex. E is nothing but enzymes, S is represented as a substrate. Diagram is different. How to fit these, that is the enzymes, and here enzymes represented as the roughly, and flexible positions present inside these enzymes, and that is known as the flexible active site. Flexible active site. nothing but that is in the flexible region. E represented enzymes and that will be yes substrate and to form the complex. Yes, I described the Queensland scientist in 1963 proposed the induced fit hypothesis. Yes, both are the complex of the enzymes and substrate, but different concepts about the enzyme. Yes, and so we given the enzyme action to different scientists. First one, the enyme and second, Queensland. Yes, and these types, the enzymes action. The enzymes action, you read carefully, and if you have any problem, to ask me and give feedback about the mechanism of enzyme action.
Fire when the storm hits you.
That's it, friend.